Thank you. I have the opportunity to report on a community-engaged implementation science project, including a number of different collaborators here, and this was done in partnership with the YMCA in Toronto. The aim was to examine changes in physical activity, body composition, strength, and flexibility among adults aging with HIV engaged in an online community-based exercise or CBE intervention. Using implementation science approaches and a community-engaged approach, we conducted a one-year intervention study. Phase 1 of 6 months included an exercise program whereby participants met with a trainer at the YMCA. They were expected to engage in exercise 3 times a week involving a combination of aerobic, resistive, and balance and flexibility exercise. They had personal training sessions, one-on-one with a trainer, once every 2 weeks. They were invited to monthly online education sessions and were provided with access to the YMCA Sweat for Good app, a Fitbit, and home exercise equipment. After 6 months, they were then entered the independent monitoring and exercise phase, where they no longer had access to the personal trainer or the monthly sessions, but still access to the online YMCA membership. We measured activity on a weekly, daily physical activity on a weekly basis, and we also assessed body composition, strength, endurance, and flexibility outcomes once every 2 months, and analyzed using segmented mixed regression.
20 seconds.
And here are our results. The participants increased their engagement in physical activity from 3.2 days a week up to 3.77, and that reduced back down again in the follow-up phase. They had positive changes in weight, waist circumference, waist to hip ratio, and body mass index, and those changes were sustained in the follow-up phase. Strength and flexibility, also improvements, but the benefits for push-ups and plank time were not sustained in the follow-up phase. So in conclusion, participants who remained in the study demonstrated improvements in physical activity, strength, weight, and body composition, not all of those benefits of which were sustained in the follow-up phase. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this now. All right. So this, actually, I am presenting on behalf of Tai-Te Su. Ted is a postdoctoral fellow working with me at the University of Toronto in the Department of Physical Therapy. And Ted set out to look at characterizing and describing trajectories of disability across 6 dimensions of disability among adults aging with HIV, and to explore how contextual factors, both extrinsic and intrinsic, might influence those trajectories over time. And on the bottom here, these are the 6 dimensions of disability he looked at. He conducted an observational longitudinal study using data from a previous community-based exercise intervention study that was the baseline monitoring phase. Disability was measured using the short-form HIV disability questionnaire once every 2 months for a total of 5 time points, and contextual factors measured here using a demographic questionnaire. He used latent class growth curve analysis and multinomial logistic regression to specifically assess influence of contextual factors. And here are the findings here. Among the sample of 108 participants, the median age was 51, and individuals were living with approximately 3 conditions in addition to HIV. Ted finds here on the right-hand side, the first column on the left, he was able to identify 3 distinct trajectories of disability in physical, mental, emotional, and daily dimensions. So higher scores indicate greater severity of disability, which was labeled as persistently low, medium, and high. And then there was 4 trajectories of disability on the right-hand column, identified as low, medium, high, and high, and those were the cognitive domains, uncertainty, and social inclusion. So the colored thicker lines are the average trajectories, while the gray thinner lines represent individual trajectories over time, so there's a lot of variability there. Contextual factors, I'll highlight 2. Self-mastery those with greater self-mastery were less likely to be in the high disability trajectories, and those with greater social support tended to be in the lower level of disability trajectories. So a lot to unpack here, and also highlights the role for potentially modifiable contextual factors to reduce or mitigate episodes of disability over time. Thank you.
Yeah.